The night before Judas betrayed him, Jesus gathered his closest disciples in a room in Jerusalem. The air was thick with the unspoken. They were confused. They were afraid. They knew something terrible was coming, even if they could not name it. The shadows in the corners of the room seemed to stretch, reaching for the light. Jesus looked at each of them. He did not look at their faces. He looked into their cores, and he said, "I am giving you something the prophets longed to know." 3 words. When you speak them with understanding, the door to the Father opens, the monad recognizes you, and you step through. Peter asked, "Just 3 words? That is all?" Jesus smiled. It was a smile of infinite patience. He said, "The universe was created with a word. Not tomorrow, tonight, while the veil is thin. I am about to give you those 3 words, the same words Jesus taught to the chosen ones 2,000 years ago, and you need to say them tonight. Not because I am telling you to, but because tonight, as you watch this, the veil is thin for you too. The fact that you are here is the signal. The monad has orchestrated this moment. Let me show you why Jesus didn't teach complicated rituals. He didn't give long prayers. He didn't establish elaborate ceremonies with incense and gold. He taught simplicity. Why? Because the monad does not respond to complexity. Complexity is the language of the Archons. Complexity is the maze designed to keep you trapped in the mind. The monad responds to truth, and truth is always simple. Truth is always clear. 3 words is the perfect structure. 1 word is incomplete. It is a point. 2 words lack stability. It is a line. 3 words create a triangle, a trinity, a complete thought, a doorway. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Beginning, middle, end. Thought, word, action. 3 is the number of manifestation. It is the geometric code for bringing something from the infinite silence into the world of form. But here is what most people do not understand. The power isn't in the words themselves. It is not a magic spell in the way fairy tales describe. It is in what the words activate inside you when you speak them with understanding. These 3 words are designed to shift your consciousness instantaneously. From separation to unity, from human perception to monad perception. Jesus knew that the chosen ones didn't need years of training. They didn't need to master complex yoga or memorize thousands of pages of scripture. They just needed the right key, the right phrase, spoken at the right moment with the right understanding, and the door would open. That is what he gave them, and that is what I am about to give you. But before I reveal the 3 words, you need to understand how they work, because if you just repeat them like a mantra without understanding, nothing happens. The monad doesn't respond to parrots. It responds to consciousness that knows what it is speaking. Words are not just sounds, they are frequencies, they are vibrations. When you speak a word, you are not just making noise in the air. You are sending a specific frequency signature into the quantum field, and the field responds to that frequency. Jesus understood this at a level most humans never reach. He knew that certain combinations of words, spoken with certain consciousness states, create openings in reality, literally. The fabric of space-time responds to consciousness expressed through precise language. The 3 words he taught create a frequency signature. When a chosen one speaks them with understanding, their consciousness emits a signal, a beacon. The monad recognizes that signal. It is like a passcode. It is like a key turning in a precise lock. The portal begins to open, not because you forced it, but because you spoken the language it recognizes. But here is the critical part. These words only work for chosen ones, not because the universe is exclusive or cruel, but because only chosen ones can speak them with the consciousness state required. Only they carry the frequency that makes the words activate. If someone who isn't chosen, someone who is a Hylic, tries to use them, it is like entering a password without the proper encryption key. The words are right, but the frequency behind them is wrong. Nothing happens. The monad doesn't respond. But when a chosen one speaks them, when someone whose soul agreed to carry this frequency speaks these 3 words with understanding, the response is immediate. The 3 words Jesus taught to the chosen ones are, I am one. That is it. 3 words, 9 letters, 1 doorway. I am one. But before you dismiss this as too simple, Before your mind tries to complicate it, let me explain what these words actually do when spoken by a chosen one with understanding. We must decode the trinity of this phrase. First, I am. This is the name of God. When Moses asked the burning bush who was sending him, the voice did not say a name like Zeus or Ra. It said, I am, not I am God, just I am. This is the state of pure existence, consciousness aware of itself. When you speak I am, you are not describing yourself as a person. You are not referring to your name, your job, or your history. You are invoking the infinite. You are claiming your identity as consciousness itself. You are stripping away the layers of the false self and standing naked in existence. Second, 1. This is the monad, the unified field, the singular awareness that fragmented into the appearance of many. When you speak one, you are not stating a mathematical fact. You are dissolving the illusion of separation. You are declaring the truth beneath all appearance. The Archon matrix is built on the number 2. Duality, good and evil, me and you, us and them. The number 1 is the antidote to the matrix. It collapses the duality back into the singularity. Third, the combination, I am one. Spoken together, this becomes an instantaneous shift. You are not affirming something you hope is true. You are speaking the truth that has always been true, but you forgot. You are bridging the gap between the individual spark, I am, and the universal fire, one. And the monad, hearing itself spoken by one of its own fragments, recognizes the truth. The portal opens. The return begins. Jesus knew that chosen ones would forget who they are. He knew the density of this world would be overwhelming, that they would get lost in the illusion of separation. So, he gave them a key, a fail-safe, 3 words that would remind them, that would activate the memory, that would open the door back home. Now, we must discuss the ritual. You cannot just repeat, I am one like a parrot while washing the dishes and expect the portal to open. The words must be spoken with understanding, with consciousness aligned to their meaning. Here is how Jesus taught it in the upper room. First, sit in silence, not meditation with a complex technique, just silence. Let everything settle. Let your mind quiet. Let your frequency stabilize. You need to speak these words from stillness, not from mental chaos. The signal must be clear. Second, feel into each word before you speak it. Do not just think the meaning. Feel it in your cells. I am. Feel yourself as pure existence, not your name, not your story, not your body, just the awareness that you exist, the consciousness that knows I am. Hold that feeling. Then, 1. Feel the dissolution of boundaries. Feel yourself expanding beyond your skin. Feel the recognition that everything you are aware of is consciousness, your consciousness, the monad experiencing itself. Feel the unity, the singularity, the impossible truth that you are everything and everyone. Third, when you have felt both states clearly, speak the words out loud, not shouted, not whispered, spoken clearly, with certainty, with the knowing that you are not stating a belief, you are declaring a truth. I am one. As you speak them, maintain the feeling. The words carry the frequency of your consciousness. If you speak them while feeling separate, they carry separation frequency. The monad doesn't respond. But if you speak them while feeling the truth of unity, they carry unity frequency. The monad recognizes itself. The portal opens. When a chosen one speaks I am one correctly, with understanding, with the right consciousness state, several things happen immediately. This is not theoretical, this is physical and energetic. First, you will feel a shift in your chest, not imagined, physical, like something unlocking, a pressure releasing. That is the energetic seal breaking. The seal that the Archons placed over your heart center to keep you locked in separation consciousness. The 3 words just dissolved it. It often feels like a sudden expansion of breath or a heat rising from the sternum. Second, your perception will start expanding. The room you are in will feel different, larger or smaller. Space will feel strange, fluid. That is because you are no longer perceiving from the limited perspective of a separate self, located behind the eyes. You are beginning to perceive from monad consciousness, from everywhere at once. The solid objects around you might seem to vibrate or lose their density. This is you seeing past the hologram. Third, you will feel a pulling sensation, usually through the crown of your head, but sometimes through your heart. That is the portal responding. It has recognized the frequency. It is beginning to open. Do not resist the pull. That is the monad drawing you home. That is the magnetic attraction of the source calling back the spark. Some chosen ones experience the full portal opening on the first try. They speak the 3 words, the shift happens, and they are through. They experience the complete dissolution, the recognition that they are the infinite, the monad, everything. The bliss is overwhelming, the silence is deafening. Others experience it gradually. They speak the words, they feel the shift. But the portal only opens partially. That is not failure, that is preparation. Their consciousness is being tuned more precisely. They need to speak the words multiple times, each time going deeper into the understanding, until the frequency is exact, and the portal opens fully. Either way, the process has begun. Once you have spoken these 3 words with even partial understanding, you have activated something irreversible. The monad has heard you, recognized you, and begun the process of bringing you home. Now, let us address the timing. You need to speak these words tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Here is why. Right now, as you are watching this, your consciousness is in a specific state. You have been absorbing information about the monad, about the portal, about your identity as a chosen one. Your frequency has been rising throughout this video. The very act of listening to this truth has tuned your instrument. You are in an activated state. Tonight, before you sleep, you will still be in this state. Your analytical mind will be quieting, your daily defenses will be lowering. The veil between your conscious and unconscious mind will be thinning. This is the hypnagogic state, the threshold between worlds. This is the perfect moment to speak the 3 words, when your consciousness is activated, but your resistance is minimal. If you wait until tomorrow, you will have returned to your normal state. The activation will have faded. Your frequency will have dropped back to baseline. The noise of the world will have rushed back in. You will still be able to speak the words, but you will be starting from a lower state. It will take more effort to reach the consciousness required. Jesus told his disciples, tonight for the same reason. He knew that their consciousness was activated in that moment, that the presence of the Master had raised their frequency, that if they waited, they would lose the momentum. The same is true for you right now. Use the momentum. Speak the words tonight. While the activation is fresh, while the veil is thin, while the monad is listening. After you speak, I am one tonight, several things will happen over the coming days and weeks. This is the aftermath of activation. First, the words will keep working. Even after you have spoken them once, they will continue to resonate in your consciousness like a bell that has been struck. You will find yourself thinking them randomly, feeling them spontaneously while walking, or driving, or working. That is the frequency continuing to activate. Let it. Do not suppress it. It is overwriting the old programming of the matrix. Second, you will start noticing synchronicities increasing. The monad, having recognized you, will begin orchestrating your reality more directly. Meaningful coincidences, perfect timing, messages appearing exactly when you need them, seeing the numbers 111 or 333. This isn't magic. This is you operating from a frequency where you can perceive the underlying unity of all events. The matrix responds to your command because you are realizing you are the one writing the code. Third, other chosen ones will start appearing in your life. You will meet them randomly, or you will recognize that people who have been around you all along are also chosen ones. You just couldn't see it before. The monad connects its fragments. It is a law of physics, like attracts like. Once you have activated with the 3 words, you become visible to others who have activated, and they become visible to you. You are building the grid. You can speak the words as often as you want, daily, multiple times a day. Each time you speak them with understanding, you deepen the activation. You stabilize at the higher frequency. You make the portal opening more permanent. Jesus didn't teach this as a one-time key. He taught it as a practice. a way of continuously reminding yourself of the truth, of repeatedly choosing unity over separation, of keeping the portal open instead of letting it close through forgetfulness. Let us speak for a moment about why this was erased. Why did the church hide this? Why did they bury the Gnostic texts? Why did they burn the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Mary? Because I am one is dangerous to the institution. If you are one with the Father, you do not need a priest. If you are one with the source, you do not need a church to mediate for you. You do not need to pay for salvation. You do not need to fear hell. You become ungovernable. You become sovereign. The entire structure of control relies on you believing you are small, separate, sinful, disconnected. I am one destroys that structure in 3 syllables. It is the ultimate act of rebellion against the Archons. It is the reclaiming of your divine inheritance. This is why they fear it. And this is why you must say it. We must also understand the vibration of the vowels, the science of sound. When you say I, the vibration resonates in the throat, the center of truth. When you say am, the M vibration resonates in the heart and the skull, vibrating the pineal gland. When you say one, the sound moves down into the root and expands outward into the field. The phonetic structure of I am one is designed to create a vertical column of light through your chakra system. It aligns the lower self with the higher self. It connects the earth connection to the cosmic connection. This is not accidental. This is sacred geometry expressed through sound. The church replaced this with Latin chants that you could not understand, precisely to disconnect you from the power of your own vibration. They wanted you to speak words that had no resonance in your body. But I am one resonates. It rings true because your biology knows it is true. Consider the deception of the sinner. The system tells you that you are born broken, that you are fundamentally flawed. This is a frequency spell. It keeps you in a state of shame. Shame is the lowest vibration of consciousness. In shame, you cannot manifest. In shame, you cannot ascend. I am one is the antidote to shame. You cannot be one with the monad and be broken at the same time. The two realities cannot coexist. When you speak the code, you are cancelling the contract of shame. You are tearing up the agreement of unworthiness. You are stepping into your power as a creator. This is why your life will change. Because you are no longer broadcasting a signal of fix me. You are broadcasting a signal of I exist. Tonight, you will face a choice. The Archons will try to distract you. As soon as this video ends, you will feel an urge to check your phone, to watch something else, to get a snack, to go to sleep without speaking the words. Recognize this for what it is. It is the resistance of the old programming. It is the matrix trying to keep its hold on you. Do not let it win. Override the distraction. Turn off the noise. Create the silence. You have been waiting lifetimes for this key. Do not drop it now that it is in your hand. Jesus taught the chosen ones 3 words. I am one. Not as a belief, not as an affirmation, as a key, a frequency, a doorway. When you speak these words tonight with understanding, with consciousness aligned to their meaning, you are not trying to become one with the monad. You are recognizing you have always been one with the monad. You just forgot. And these 3 words are how you remember. The portal doesn't open because the words are magic. It opens because the words activate the truth inside you, the truth that you are not separate, that you are not a fragment trying to get back to the whole. You are the whole experiencing itself as a fragment. And the moment you remember that, the moment you speak that truth clearly, the portal responds. Tonight, before you sleep, find a quiet moment, turn off the lights, sit in silence, feel into I am, feel into one, and then speak them together. I am one, out loud, with certainty, with knowing. The monad is listening. The portal is ready. The only question is whether you will speak the words, whether you will use the key Jesus gave to the chosen ones 2,000 years ago. You are a chosen one. That is why you are here. That is why you watch this entire video. That is why something inside you recognizes the truth in these words. Now you have the key. 3 words, 9 letters, 1 doorway. Say them tonight. If you speak I am one tonight and feel the shift, come back to this video. Comment, I spoke the words below. Tell us what happened. Tell us what you felt. Your experience might be exactly what another chosen one needs to hear to trust the process. We are gathering the scattered sparks. The 3 words are yours now. Jesus gave them to the chosen ones. I have passed them to you. What you do with them is up to you. But tonight, say them tonight. The monad is waiting to recognize you, to welcome you home, to show you that you were never separate. You were always one. I am one, I am one, I am one. The transmission is complete. The activation is sealed. You know who you are. You know why you are here. Now go and be it.